How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing really well. I just want to preface today's video by saying I really didn't want to do this. Only because it's currently... I don't know if you can see my watch. You probably can't. One second. It's 3:30 in the morning right now. 3:30 in the morning, I should be asleep. My Garmin's still in sleep mode. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you awake? But yeah, it's also raining, which is quite nice actually. It's quite nice that it's raining. Yeah, I wanted to film this video for quite some time. But obviously didn't want to film it while my gym is super busy and packed, which it usually always is. So I finally pulled the trigger and I was like, I'll come here. I woke up at like 2:30 this morning, got ready, and what do you know? Some absolute freak is already here anyway. So, fuck my life. Alright, yeah, one last thing is that I am going to mainly do a voiceover, I think, for this video. Just because, annoyingly, my gym, it just constantly has music playing, like loud, shitty music, and I don't think there's a way to like turn it off there. So yeah, this will probably be a voiceover just going over my leg day. Anyway, I'll see you guys in there. Okay, so starting off with our first exercise for our lower body day, we have the leg extension. This is a quad focused exercise. Generally for most of the exercises that I do, I'll do usually 2 warm-up sets. So as you can see right now, I've just got very light weight on, 26 kilos I believe, which is about 57 pounds if you're from the States. I just usually do between 6 to 8 reps for warm-ups, and actually for my
I usually on the hack squat do body weight at first just to make sure everything feels right. Like I don't have any niggles in my knees or anything, just because I really, you want to prevent an injury. Definitely want to prevent an injury. So yeah, just a body weight warm-up set, and then for our second warm-up set we'll chuck on 40 kilos, which is about 88 pounds I believe. For the hack squat, I generally like to do shoulder width apart and having my feet around the middle of the plate, so it's mainly quad focused but a little bit hammies as well. The higher your feet are positioned on the plate, the more hamstring focused it is. The lower your feet are positioned, the more quad focused. I just tend to go pretty neutral. I find that works for me. You'll see, so the first half or part of my lower body day is more so quad focused, and then the second half more hamstring focused. Some people go back and forth, like they'll do quad hammies. I always just prefer doing it in like focusing on one group at a time, rather than going back and forth between the two. So now we're doing our first working set of hack squat, which is, I just hit my head there, 120 kilos, which is approximately 265 pounds. I think the max I've gone is only 140 kilos. I did last week. I reckon I'm gonna try hit 4 plates by the end of the year, so that will be 160 kilos, which I can do. I know I can do it. I should probably get some knee sleeves though, just to be safe. But yeah, this one was definitely more of a struggle this morning. I'm just not used to being up this early, and it is quite a taxing exercise on your body, just because it is a pretty compounded movement. Trying to breathe in and brace the core before doing the reps. Breathing in, going down, bracing your core because you don't want a hernia, and then trying to just press back up, keep everything nice and controlled. So that's our first working set done. Now just jumping into our next working set. Of course, when I'm doing these exercises, I am having a rest in between. It's just obviously I don't want to film my whole rest time. I think for most exercises I have about 2 minutes rest, but for the really taxing ones like hack squat, I do 3 to 4 minutes rest, just because, especially on like, if this was like in the afternoon when I'd usually go, I'd be pushing a little bit more weight. You need that recovery time. So again, that sort of neutral foot position, a bit more quad focused, but you can still see my hamstrings are working there. A little bit at the bottom of the rep. Just pressing with all my might. really struggling on this one this morning, but that's a good thing. At least the body's working. And honestly, hack squat, I never am 100% keen on it. I know it's coming, but it's always the one that gets me like feeling the most dizzy if I really push myself. Now we're jumping into hamstrings. So first exercise for hammies is RDLs. I end up swapping the camera position because the lighting's a bit poor on this side. So I wanted to show you how this works your hamstrings. It's probably my favourite hamstring. Yeah, it is my favourite hammy exercise because man, it really gets your hammies going. So just a quick warm-up set with the bar, which is 20 kilos. It's only 44 pounds. Now another warm-up set, just chucking 10 kilos either side, so a total of 40 kilos, which is 88 pounds on there. Just trying to get for this, my hammies are already sort of warmed up from the hack squat a bit, so these warm-ups are more so just a form check to get my form dialed in, make sure everything's looking alright, make sure nothing's feeling off. And yeah, so now we're going into our working sets for RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, chucking some more weight on there. I think we do pounds approximately. We'll just call it 200 pounds. Come on, mate. Come on. So, yeah, 200 pounds with the clips, man. Surely. So for this, one of my most favorite items that I own is what I'm putting on right now. You've probably all seen straps, people using straps at gym but they might not look exactly like these. These are called Versa Grips. My girlfriend got them for me and they are a godsend. They essentially just help you grip the bar far more than if you were to not have them on, and it takes all the strain out of your forearms. It's just, they're so good. You can look them up, Versa Grips. So trying to lock in here just because it is pretty heavyweight, and I'm trying to make sure my form's dialed down, so a slight bend in the knees and just purely hinging from the hips. Sort of, this is a hard movement to get down pat the first time you try it, so you can see my hamstrings there definitely firing. And ever since my friend said this, I can't stop thinking about it. It's like, dude, you're violating that bar. Now every time I do RDLs, I think, fuck, I do look like I'm violating the bar. This isn't good. But everyone does, so at least I'm not alone. That was our first working set done. Really, really, really good burn on the hammies. One thing with this that I need to work on with my form, I have pretty decent form, I think anyway. Let me know if you've got any corrections, but one of the things I need to fix is, you'll see when I do them, I look up, and that's because, you can see there, I'm looking up at myself in the mirror. That's a bad habit, because I'm doing it because I want to make sure my form's good, but in doing that, that's the one part of my form that is not the best. Apparently, my girlfriend said you should keep your head down, looking down, to keep your spine neutral, which makes sense. But I can't help it. It doesn't hurt my spine or anything, but I just know if I wanted peak form, I should be doing that. So there's our 2 working sets done. Our hammies have absolutely cooked from that. So now we're going to jump into seated hamstring curls to absolutely cook them even more, because that's what we want. So for this, just one warm-up set. I think we're doing like 26 kilos, just real light for the warm-up set. Again, just more so to make sure everything is feeling alright, because my hamstrings are obviously already very warm from the RDLs we just did. So this is, yeah, like only 57 pounds, I believe. Seated hamstring curl. I always feel like in this machine, I'm getting strapped into a roller coaster or something with the the way the seat's set up. And especially if your legs get stuck in it too, because sometimes the padding that goes over the top of your legs, you have to push down really tight in order to lock yourself in, and you can get stuck. You look like a bit of an idiot. So our working sets, we're doing 2 sets, 78.8 kilos, 174 pounds. Making sure that pad is pushed as far down as I can go, and just controlling the weight on the way up, squeezing with intensity on the way down. One thing I found that used to happen to me a lot with these is that my calves would cramp up, especially towards the end of the set, like when I'm trying to push those last 2 reps in, really squeezing as much as I can. And what I found helped that, which I should have picked up on initially anyway, was that when I was doing those last reps, I was pointing my toes too far forward, because naturally you want to do that to like push down, you point your toes forward, but as soon as you point your toes forward, that actually activates your calves, and man, oh man, if you've got heavy weight on, and you activate your calves, then bitch, goes just cramp up straight away. So to counteract that, just always be thinking about pointing your toes up towards you, and you won't cramp your calves. Again, this is just cooking your hamstrings, just really trying to focus on intensity, especially towards these last few reps, just squeezing. Won't do a failure there. Yeah, for most exercises, I try go within 2 RIR, which RIR means reps in reserve, which is how many reps you can do until practical failure. That's another word I'm looking for to replace technical, till technical failure, which means where you can't get a clean rep. And so yeah, usually I'll try and get a failure on a few exercises. Again, I didn't this morning on as many just because of what time it was and the lack of energy, but yeah. Anyway, we've been on a new exercise for a little bit now, the Glizzy Crusher. This is called the Adductor Machine, one of my favourites actually. Unfortunately, I've maxed this thing out for like good 3 months now. It's just a bit too easy, so I need to think of a way to make it a bit more tricky. Now we're supersetting the Adductor Machine with cable crunches. This is the only core I do during the whole week, so I should probably do more core. I just don't know what else to do. But these, I really enjoy these. I get like a wicked burn in my core from these. So for the maxed out Glizzy Crushers, the Adductor, we're doing it's weird, right? It says 205, and I'm sure it can't be kilos because that would be crazy. I'm pretty sure it's 205 pounds, but I don't know why in like the gym that would be the only machine that's not in like metric, like not kilograms. Weird. Anyway, for the crunches, we're doing 32.5 kilos, which is approximately 72 pounds for those cable crunches we just did. Back to these, I like to, so I've got the machine maxed out. I like to scoot forward, use my hands to get that first rep, just to squeeze my legs together, and then I sort of lean upright, and just really focus on controlled, slow tempo the whole way, not just dropping the weight at the top of the rep, controlling it on the way down, and squeeze up, control, squeeze, control, squeeze, get that last rep, control, squeeze. There was another one in there, didn't know. And then, very important, when you get to your last rep, don't just drop the weight. As Dr. Mike says, treat it like you've got another rep to go. Very important. Those last reps are the most important for growth. Back to these. I do really like these, but I should get, we've got at the back of the gym, I've just never used them, the yoga mats. Should get them to put under my knees, because sometimes this bitch hurts like crazy. Just like your knees digging into that hard gym floor. Again, this is actually the first time I've watched myself do these, and I'm pretty happy with how the form looks. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I do these, I think, do I look retarded? Like, am I doing this right? Don't know. Alright, those are done. That was a superset, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, so as soon as I finish the adductors, I go straight over to that. Supersets are good because they help you get out of the gym quicker, which is what I want to do. I don't want to be in the gym for 2 hours. I want to maximize my time, but still, get the work done properly. This is our final lift for the day at the gym, and that's calf raises. Now we do have a calf raise machine, however, my shoulder's cooked, has been for a minute, so I've been doing these calf raises on like the belt squat machine, where you put the belt around your waist, so all the weight is actually like behind my waist or my core, around my core area, and still I just spam these until it feels like my calves are gonna fall off, which is usually around the 20 rep range. I got tiny calves, I know. Most people do, unless you're like been walking around at like bloody 120 kilos for the past 5 years. Like, that shit's crazy. People got massive calves who've got a lot of weight. Like my old man, my dad, he's over 100 kgs, and fucking calves are huge, bro. I think I just need a bulk, just dirty bulk, to get massive calves. Anyway, yeah, these are actually, they sort of feel like donkey calf raises. If you've seen that machine, like the old Schwarzenegger machine that I used to use. And I really do like them. I think they feel different. They feel like they burn a different part of your calf to I still really like this stretch regardless. It's a nice one. Yeah, that chick left the gym, so I was all alone now. Confident as hell. No one watching me. And yeah, I think what's the next? Oh yeah, the next stretch is this one's sort of your hips, leaning that weight on your front leg, and you're on one knee, the other knee is on the ground, and you're just like leaning your weight forward, stretching your hip out. This is quite a good stretch as well. I like this one. I tried doing a stretch routine every night recently, but I've sort of fallen off the bandwagon. Should start stretching again. Okay, now that we've stretched, last thing I do is I just did 10 minutes on the assault bike. Way harder than it looks.
Okay guys, we've made it to the end of today's video. I just finished my workout, finished up on the assault bike. It was a good session. It was okay. I had to be honest, I did feel a little rocked just because I woke up at, like I said, 2:30 this morning. 2:30 a.m. is when I got up, and I also didn't have my pre-workout meal, so I was literally working on fumes there from like dinner. But that's alright. If you have any constructive criticism, any advice, any tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, because of course I'm always keen to learn new stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you'd like to see more gym videos in the future, I train at the gym 4 days a week. I do an upper, lower, full body split. So I have 2 upper days, 1 full body, and the lower day that we did today. So yeah, if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know in the comments below. I've also been thinking about if you'd like me to do like a video of well, there's lots of ideas I have, but one of them is teaching you how to create your own gym program, teaching you how to track your meals if you want to go into like a weight cut, calorie deficit, yeah, all sorts of things like fitness, lifestyle related. I'd like to make some videos on, so if you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I'm about to go home and film a completely different video, nothing to do with fitness,